From siestas to power naps, sleep is a favorite pastime for millions across Earth. But what happens when your mind wakes up, but your body hits snooze? Regardless of whether you're an early riser or a night owl, it's nice to shut down and catch a few Z's in dreamland. But for those who suffer from sleep paralysis, it's not that simple. I can't remember the last time I had a good night's sleep. Usually I just lay in bed for a few minutes until I get a coffee craving, and then I trip over Chill doing his daily 6 o'clock yoga routine. Yeah, when are you two leaving again? Today's topic is covering a faculty of medicine involving sleep. As with all medical topics, we're not doctors, and we're not qualified to tell you how best to live your life. We're just trying to approach the strange phenomena from an unbiased perspective. If you have any questions, it doesn't hurt to talk to a real doctor about it. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. So, what is sleep paralysis? To begin, I'll have Grill read out some Reddit users' experiences, because reading online comments is sort of his thing.
Thank you, fellow caffeine cohort. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Reading Online Comments with Grill. Reddit user Purple Dirt describes seeing a slick, black, alien-type creature about 4 feet tall. User send_me_your_feet_pics. Gross. Says that they see a cat-sized shadow creature at the base of their bed, and a shadow man walking around the room and disappearing behind their open door. Cat-sized shadow creature? You mean cat-shaped? Because cat-sized could mean anything. Could be a cat-sized cat, could be a cat-sized hippo. Oh, ooh, like one of those house hippos. Oh, I really hope it's that.
Let's try to get back on track.
Reddit user Sipasoma. I remember hearing people creeping around outside my house. So vivid that I believe it's actually happening. Next. Okay, Juice Broom says that a life-size Barbie doll was terrorizing me. The worst one I can remember was us on the floor and she was crawling toward me with this huge angry smile and I wanted to get up and move away, but I couldn't.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
That.
This scene might sound like something out of a horror thriller, and dear lord, I wish it was. It's hellishly real, and according to Alon Avidan and Phyllis C. Z in the Handbook of Sleep Medicine, it is experienced by 50% of individuals at least once in their lifetime.
God, I really hate those odds.
I'm talking about sleep paralysis, not the dolls and shadow men and stuff. Sleep paralysis is a parasomnia, an abnormal experience that occurs as you're falling asleep, waking up, or when you are between sleep cycles, and it occurs when your consciousness wakes up, but your mind is in sleep mode.
Activating sleep mode.
No, stop! I need you more than ever, Potts.
It's how.
Anyway, one's consciousness is awake, but their brain hasn't told their body yet, so they're unable to move, but can see and think about what's happening. The worst part is that your brain still thinks you're sleeping. Even though you can see and think, you'll keep dreaming. Oh, and by dreaming, I mean hallucinate. When you sleep, your mind shifts between two states: REM sleep, or rapid eye movement sleep, and NREM sleep, for non-rapid eye movement sleep. You dream during REM sleep, and usually wake up during NREM sleep. Sleep paralysis occurs when you become cognizant during the process of going into or coming out of REM sleep, and since REM sleep is the time when your brain is conjuring up dreams, you can end up with some pretty buck-wild experiences. SP that takes place as you're drifting into sleep is known as hypnagogic or predormital. SP that takes place as you're waking is known as hypnopompic or postdormital. But this doesn't explain how your mind can wake up while your body remains asleep. To answer that, we need to turn to neuroscience. Yay, neuroscience! I should clarify what I said earlier. Saying that your mind wakes and your body does not isn't technically correct. It's all in the brain. Patricia L. Brooks and John H. Peever, PhD of the University of Toronto, determined that 2 neurotransmitters could be responsible for paralysis during REM sleep: gamma-aminobutyric acid, aka GABA, and glycine. Brooks and Peever found that if they blocked these 2 transmitters in rat brains, the rodents exhibited more muscle activity than the control populations which they did not influence. SP occurs when you wake up and disrupt the cycle of REM sleep to NREM sleep, causing your brain to continue blocking those neurotransmitters while it begins to boot up. It's like when you have to update your phone. After it restarts, you can see all your apps and stuff on the screen, but you can't interact with anything for a moment or two while the update installs. But that's no problem for me, because the last update I did was in 2007. Interestingly enough, this paralysis is also behind why so many individuals who experience SP feel like something is sitting on their chest. Since GABA and glycine restrict the body's movement, but not the base functions, the diaphragm continues to expand and contract while you breathe, but the chest muscle freezes, resulting in a feeling of constriction. Doesn't explain the hallucinations though. No one knows exactly why we dream, but we do know that your thalamus, the structure in your brain which translates information from sense into memory, is active during REM, along with the amygdala, which houses fear and anger reactions, and the prefrontal cortex, which controls short-term memory. The most popular theory of why we dream, stipulated by John Allen Hobson and Robert McCarley, argues that dreams are a byproduct of lower functions of the brain during REM sleep, like heart and blood pressure, translated by our higher functions, like memory and speech, into visual and auditory hallucinations, which were used by our ancestors to practice being conscious. Think of it like a virtual reality game that you can use to practice being a human while you sleep.
How is your day? I love you.
Every time. This is called activation synthesis theory. It's possible that during sleep paralysis, despite the fact that you are conscious, your thalamus is still communicating with your amygdala and prefrontal cortex as if you are dreaming. So on top of the information your senses provide your brain translated through the thalamus, your brain also provides information to your senses. This can lead to some deeply unchill situations.
Hey, Grill. Hey, Grill. Hey, Grill. Grill.
Get off me.
Grill, you promised me we'd go for waffles today.
Get off me, get off me, get off me, get off me, get off me. I don't want your waffles.
Okay. So, J. Allen Chain et al., in an article for Consciousness and Cognition, argue that there are 3 types of sleep paralysis nightmares: intruder, incubus, and unusual bodily experiences. Intruder is defined by a perceived presence, incubus by breathing difficulties and pressure on the chest, and unusual bodily experiences by a sense of floating or feelings of bliss. These symptoms are so common that the original English meaning of the word nightmare meant a spirit that would sit on your chest in your sleep. Night as in night, and mare as in Mara, a spirit. These symptoms are almost always interpreted as supernatural across all cultures. Cambodians refer to sleep paralysis as the ghost that pushes you down. Italians from the Abruzzo region attribute a cat witch named Pandafeke to instances of SP. Inuit cultures have the monsters Algumungia and Ukomirik, while the Hmong people of Vietnam refer to this demon as Da Cho. I guess I'm not the only one who can't sleep at night. Oh, and just so you know, in an article by Susan Blackmore, a correlation was discovered between how individuals who suffer from sleep paralysis would describe aliens during close encounters and how much television they consume. Essentially, individuals who consumed less television were more likely to describe their alien abductors using more diverse descriptions than those who watched more TV. The argument was that most alien encounters are in fact sleep paralysis, and as one consumes more pop culture, the likelihood of aliens taking on a specific culturally ingrained image increases. Sleep paralysis occurs in almost half of the human population at one point or another, according to the Handbook of Sleep Medicine. Since it's most often seen in students, individuals suffering from PTSD, and people with high BMI, consistency in sleep schedule is the most successful treatment plan for SP. These groups may be more prone to sleep paralysis because their lifestyles or health complications make consistent sleep schedules difficult. In addition, SP can be linked to many different cultures' concepts of ghosts, demons, and other supernatural monsters. An individual waking in the middle of the night, still dreaming yet unable to move, would panic, and their fear would influence their hallucinations. The good news is that there is no physical danger from sleep paralysis, reoccurrent or otherwise. So unless a person who also suffers from narcolepsy or other parasomnias, SP will not occur very often, and treatment is probably unnecessary. The best way to deal with SP is to relax, understand there is nothing to fear, and wait for the episode to pass. It's kind of like watching Grill burn tweets.
Hey, buddy, those are some nice dreams you got there. Be a shame if something were to happen to them.
Oh, come on, man, just leave her alone.
I ain't done yet.